Welcome everyone, it's time to take a look at what's new in Alpha 21. And we're going to start off here with some new updated weapon assets. And you can see they are changing the assault rifle, and you see that here on the left, which looks different. It's of course not going to be that clean cut one. And we also have the double barrel shotgun that they're showing off, and I think they look really good. Looking closer at it, we can see it's been wrapped around. I guess it's maybe falling apart, or maybe it's been scuffed off, so that's an interesting look. And similar here as well for the double barrel shotgun. You can see the custom mods that are attached as well. The scope and underbarrel here, and probably it's the flashlight. So it looks pretty cool. And similar, we are seeing an update of the new iron armor for the player character, which is actually looking maybe a little bit too heavy. It's nice they're updating it, but it looks really cumbersome. And then we have two more armor assets. One is for the Raider player armor, which is, I think that one looks better. It looks a little bit more thematic, not so bright red and cumbersome. Of course, there's also one of the enemies, of the bandits, the White River bandit enemies. You can see the light, medium, and armor, how they progress. Same basic bandit, just with additional armor, and I think that looks good. We have here a closer look at them, and one thing that actually struck me is that I think that they should make the armor available not just to the player, but let the enemies also wear them, like the bandits. I mean, you've already made the assets, and vice versa. If you have some armor that the enemy bandits will be using, why not let the players also use them as well? I mean, you might not want to be infiltrating the bandit camps, but at least maybe you kill some bandits, you find their armor, and you actually can use it yourself. I think that would be a really cool look. We also get treated to the, I believe it's going to be the new military armor. It's the commando armor, and it looks, I think, better than the previous one, and I think it's going to replace the military armor that we have currently in Alpha 20 and earlier. Moving on for the players and the bandits, we're also seeing updated looks of cars. Now, these are cars and vehicles that we will be seeing out in the world. It doesn't look like these are going to be cars we will be driving, which is maybe a bit of a pity, but at least by the assets being in there in vanilla, theoretically someone could make a mod that allows you to drive them without actually having to include additional assets. And that makes it a lot easier for a modder, because it can make it a pure XML mod. And it looks like they're just bringing more variety, which is good, because currently we just have those usual sedans. And there are some trucks, work trucks out there, but we're going to see the pickup trucks. We're going to see the vans, which of course looks really good, much better than previously. And of course in different colors. I think this is something that they're adding on so that they can quickly just change the color of it without having to have a whole new assets. We'll also see updated police cars. And I would definitely like to have a police cruiser to drive around. I know there's some mods out there that allow you to do this, but having that in vanilla would just be so much better. And of course we get to see even a tractor, and they did announce that previously, and I really think that they should allow us to have a tractor, not terribly fast, but maybe something that can really mow down the zombies. Maybe you can put a harvester or a plow or something on the front and use it to just go through the zombies. Unfortunately, probably wishful thinking. And we can see here how it would look out in the world with a bit more variety of vehicles. Moving on to electricity. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get much more electricity items in Alpha 21, and probably never, but they are updating the actual art for the player generator, which I think is nice. I think it's really cool that they have that. One thing that I've seen in some mods is that they've actually taken the other generators that are out in the world, the ones that you have on the Restore Power Quest, both the small one and the large one, and allowing the player to actually craft them and use them. And I think that's a really good idea, and I think this is something that they should be using more. If we can find these really nice generators out and about, why do we have these kind of crappy looking ones back in our base? Right? Why don't we just use them, bring it back with us, and use them in our bases? There's also a big host of other art assets that they have been importing. They have, for instance, new lights, and I think that's really nice that they're adding that on. Again, it would be nice if we could actually craft them. We have some pictures, and actually it's nice to have them, and we should be able to at least buy them at the traders, maybe not paint them ourselves, but buy them at the traders so we can use them. I think this is something which will really add value to the game. Of course, we have food and things like that, supplies that you can find out and about. They added actually quite a lot of that back in Alpha 20 as well, but they're pushing forward with just more of these kind of things. You find the food stores, and it's not just going to be cans, but it's going to be boxed up food as well, and of course drinks. Why not more drinks? I think that's definitely needed. You're having some more radio television assets. We've been having some old, flat screens that you put by LCDs on the walls, for instance. This is going to be a little bit different, and I think this, the old CRT TVs as well. trash is going to start looking more interesting. And we've been having a bunch of trash assets in the game, and they've been looking pretty similar for quite a long time. So getting some more variety out there is really nice. If you want to go to school, go back to school. There are some already, and I think they're just adding on to that, which looks actually pretty cute. And then actually a bunch of things like you're going to see more plants, more lamps, more, the ceiling fans, and different greenery that's going to be in the different POIs that you're exploring. And I really wish we could buy them so we can decorate our own houses with them, because that's something that a lot of us who make our houses, we really like to make use of these assets, these wonderful assets that are in the game. And I think it's a big miss that they are not putting that in. Coming here to then, we're going to obviously see the dew collector that actually will have a use. You'll have to craft it with some filter that you have to either find or buy at the trader, and it will actually give you water, which will be really important. We're getting some more ammo crates, which would be really good when you're finding them. They look quite big. Maybe there should be quite a lot of rounds in them, unless they're really empty. It's a little bit weird if you find a crate like this with ammo and there's going to be like, oh, 32 rounds of 9mm, and it looks like it should be really full with, I mean, if not thousands, then at least hundreds. There should be significant amount of ammunition in there. And of course, we will be seeing a bunch of magazines, and I think there was something like 20, 30 different skill trees for crafting. So we're going to see a bunch of magazines as well. They haven't really shown a lot of how they're going to be looking, but here's one for sticks. I guess it's going to be for crafting spears. I'm not going to get into that. I wish we had more than just all these art asset updates, because it's really nice to see them. Of course, we want to see other things as well. But what do you think? What do you think of this new art assets? Do you think that it's going to give more variety to the world? And what previous assets do we have that needs to be remade because they're really old? I know people always highlight about the player animation, which I really agree. But when we're focusing on just the art assets around, what do you think needs to change and what needs to be updated because it's just way out of date? Let me know in the comment section below. And hopefully you liked the video enough to just hit that like button, maybe subscribing and ringing the notification bell, and see you in the next video.